Okay. So let's start the class. Starting the reading. Would you let us say good morning, Miss Paula? 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, Miss Cora.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see you again. Okay. Last time we spoke about Africa. Okay. Because we started class 5 minutes late, we don't have time to repeat more. So tell me, what did we speak about last time? Africa and animals. Yeah, vocabulary and animals in Africa. Yes. We learned about animals and habitats in Africa. Now this time we want to speak about the history of Africa. Okay. What do you know about history of Africa? Huh? What happened in Africa? Have you heard anything about African culture? Tribes, yeah, that's right. There are tribes there, and there are a lot of different ethnic groups. Ethnic groups like in Thailand that we have Khmer, Islam, Khmer. How do you pronounce it? Khmer. Thank you. Okay. Hola. So, like this, in Africa, there are many different groups of people with different cultures. But in 19th century, European countries invaded African countries, and they found a lot of treasures, a lot of gemstones and resources that African people didn't know the value of them. So, what happened when European countries invaded the countries, the African countries? What did they do? Do you know? Yeah, they took the resources and they started to colonize them. So, colonization happened in Africa. So, today the topic is colonization in Africa. So, write the dates in your notebooks, and I have some notebooks that have extra words. Please leave them to your friends. Thank you. And the topic is colonization in Africa. Okay. First of all, I want you to open your books and social books and notebooks. Please open your social books and notebooks. One. Social books and notebooks 2. And all social books are open to page 60. Goes to page 60. And open your notebook after writing the date. This time we want to draw a map of Africa. Why is it connected? We draw a map of Africa and ethnic colonization in Africa. So, until I can connect it, yes? I don't know what happened. So, here you can see the map of Africa and the colonial powers. Which countries, which European countries and nations started to colonize African countries? Can you see? on your book, page 60, which colonial power, which European countries and nations started to colonize African countries? Can you tell me? Belgium, that's right. Britain, what else? Italy, Portuguese, that's right. Huh? France, that's right. Germany, that's right. Spain or Spanish. And British. So, these nations started to colonize the African countries. So, as you see, most of Africa, just a small space, was colonized. Okay? Which colonial power was the biggest colonial power in Africa? Take the map, take the map.
France.
Take the map. British? Yes. And then French. Yes. But French were the first one that colonized. That's right. Okay, so in your book, you don't need to draw the borders of countries, but draw the borders of colonial powers and write, for example, British colonial power or Britain or anything that you want to write connected to that country, okay? So, I think 5 minutes gonna be okay for drawing this map. And in your notebook, draw a map of Africa and these colonial powers. You can refer to your book, page 60, or to this map. That's not about geography. I told you that we need to draw a lot of maps. It's not about colonial. That's not about countries and these. So, no need to draw the borders of countries. Just draw the areas. Draw, refer to your book or to this map. Write the name of them, yes. Write the name of the Listen to me one more time. You draw the map, the entire Africa, and border of colonial power, border of the area that France colonized, border of the area that British colonized.
Only France?
Okay? Not all of them. Okay? But no need to draw border of the countries. Don't write Egypt, don't write, for example, Jamaica. No? You can refer to the page 60. page 16, nothing. If you look at borders of the countries and colonized area, there are straight lines. Do you know the reason? They are very straight lines. You see how, again, straight lines. You should ask for changing the cable, HDMI cable. Good. So, okay, no problem. Refer to your book. This team is to make us safe. If you take the border, for example, border of Egypt and border of Egypt and Libya, you see, they are straight lines. It's good, yes. These are straight lines. You know, when the European colonial powers wanted to separate the areas, they put the map on the table and they put a ruler and they said, draw the ruler. This area is, for example, for me. This area is for you, German and Italy. Put the ruler and drew a line and say, from here to the left is for Italy, from here to the right is for Germany. So it is how they divided the area. They didn't care about the culture of people. They didn't care about their languages. They didn't care about their religion. So it's like that. I come and say, okay, from the middle, left side of the class go in one room and work together, and right side of the class go and work together. Will you be happy? No, you will say that I will work with my friend. I'm happy here to work with, for example, Benyapa. I don't want to work with another person. Okay? It happened. The same thing happened in Africa. They took the ruler, separated the countries and areas, but they didn't care if they can understand each other, if their cultures are the same, if their foods are the same, if their religions are the same. Okay? So it was a lot, it happened. A lot of problems. It made a lot of problems for people in Africa, for local people. And now a lot of them lost their mother tongues, their native languages because of colonization. So hopefully it's something working. What do you do with conflict? I said, purely communication.
Like something small.
So now you need to indicate, for
So do I need to color or not? Do I need to color?
No, you're not.
ทำไมต้องเก็บสเปคคนอื่นวะ
ขอโทษ
ทำไมตัวเองก็ไม่ได้ดีนะเว้ยที่ผมอ่ะไม่ได้ดีไม่เอา
ไม่ได้ต้องพูดดีดี
โยนสอง มึงรู้จักบายครับบายเท่ๆ
มึงเลือกเลยดีกว่า
ไม่ใช่เบส
แล้วรู้จักแต่จะรู้จักว่าเรื่องนี้
บายบายลอย
บายเบาบายโต
บายโยเย
โบ
อะ
ตาโบตา
เดี๋ยวกูเขียนให้
ที่ไปหาคน
Okay. So,
เห็นกูทำเลยลืมตา
class, now let's go to some vocabulary. No need to write them. We just read them together. Okay. So, if you didn't finish your math, keep drawing and finishing your math, but stop speaking with your friends because you need to read the vocabulary. You with me? Okay. So, the first word, drought. Repeat after me, drought. What's the meaning of drought? What's the meaning of drought? Huh? No, don't need to write it. Just keep drawing the map, and if you finish, just repeat and read with me. If you didn't finish, repeat after me and listen to your friends. So, one more time, repeat after me. Drought. What's the meaning of drought? 1, 2, 3. A long period of dry weather where there is not enough water for plants and animals to live. Yes, exactly. When there is not enough water in an area for plants and humans and animals to live, we say there is drought. It is really rare in Thailand to have drought and hopefully it never happens. But in some tropical areas and in dry areas, drought happens a lot. In Africa, a lot of places have. Next word, refugee. Repeat after me, refugee. Everyone repeat, refugee. What's the meaning of refugee?
Someone who has been forced to leave their country, especially a war or political or religious reasons.
That's right. So, refugee is someone who needs to have some support, is in danger. Someone who is in danger in their hometown, home country, or the place that they used to live, and they have to go and immigrate to another place to be safe. So, if you see refugee has double E, and other word we have refuge. Refuge is the place, is the shelter. Okay? Refuge is a safe place for refugees. Refuge as one word. So repeat after me. Refuge. Refuge. Yes. Refuge has one word. Next. I'll come back to you. Next one. Famine. Repeat after me. Famine. What's the meaning of famine? A situation in which a large number of people have little or no food That's right. Yeah. So when there is no food for a lot of people, it's famine. When there is no water, what do we call it? When there is no water, what do we call? Drought. That's right. Yes, drought and famine. So there were drought and famine in African countries and European countries, colonized those countries. They were taking their resources. They were using the human resources too. They were using people as slaves, and they took them to their wars, they took them to their countries to work for them, okay? And they didn't care about the culture of people, about the humans there, about the environment there. Oh my God. Yes. Can you do it later? So, here, it is where you need to write. So, in your notebook, write the reasons that European nations started colonization in Africa. There are two main reasons. Okay, one of them is for mining the resources. They found a lot of gemstones in Africa, and gold, metal, a lot of resources. And another one, farming. There were a lot of land, and they could farm there. Land was vast, human resources was free for them, so they could do farming and export them to their country. So start writing, everyone. Copy this to your notebooks. Huh? Copy around the street. So from what year European countries started to colonize Africa? From what year?
Yeah.
Present.
1980.
Yes.
Oh.
1880. That's right. From 1880s, they started colonizing the country. So, and from 1960s, the countries got their independence one by one. Copy this, yes. Which colonized countries were the first one who got their independence? Did you? France, that's right, very good. French colonized countries were the first countries who got their independence. The first country in 1960. Okay, that they said that we don't want to be under your colonial power. So, right, economic reasons for colonization. Economic reasons and also the date. And write the date. Write the date. Yes. Everyone, write the duration of colonization from which year to which year European countries colonized African countries. Record it in your So What did they mine there? What did
Emerald.
Gold, model,
Emerald.
emerald, yeah. Yeah, oil, that's right. Yeah, copper. I was watching a video and the British man was explaining about 50 years ago in South Africa. He said when we watched, everywhere was shining. Even the ground was shining. There were lots of diamonds and gemstones, and it was really easy to find them and mine them. But native Africans didn't find them valuable themselves. It was part of their nature. It's like that we go outside and say, oh, this plant is really valuable. If we don't say, okay, it's part of our nature. But Europeans found it really valuable as treasure, and they keep them out there all over the house. And the other reason farming. What did they plant? What did they plant? What did Europeans plant in Africa? Huh?
When you ask how
Yes, cocoa, that's right, very good. That's right. Cocoa, Arabica cocoa. And coffee, Arabica coffee. Okay? Silence, please. Cocoa and coffee and other plants also. There were things that Europeans exported from their farms in Africa, and they sold them in really expensive prices. So, let's watch a video about
In the middle of the 15th century, Central and Southern Africa.
Okay, so this video is about, please, this video is about colonization in Africa, the history of Africa. Later I will leave the link to your live group so you can watch it, but we will watch a bit of it together. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
It's still unknown to Europe. However, for centuries, the Arabs operated trade routes crossing the vast Sahara Desert, transporting to the Mediterranean gold, ivory, and slaves. Europe is more interested in profitable trade routes from Asia, especially the import of silk and spices. But the expansion of the Ottoman Empire threatened these networks. Furthermore, the kingdoms of the Iberian Peninsula set their sights on discovering new sea routes to Asia to corner the lucrative markets. Portugal takes the lead by inventing the caravel, a lightweight, versatile vessel allowing it to accelerate exploration of the African coast. The country establishes maritime trading posts as an alternative to overland trade routes, especially to capture the highly profitable slave trade. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reaches India. Portugal rapidly grows in power in the Indian Ocean and dominates the spice trade. The country grows rich and faces no competition from the Spanish Empire as the two reach an agreement to define their zones of influence as per the Treaty of Tordesillas. Spain therefore focuses on the American continent.
Okay, so which European country was the first country that invaded Africa? Portugal. Yeah, Portugal was the first colonial power in Africa. Okay. So, we watched the video later when I send it to you. But Decolonization didn't last till now, but it lasts kind of long. The countries gained their independence little by little, and decolonization started from 1960s. Okay, so African decolonization. Decolonization means that colonization is kind of finished. Okay, the countries are not under the control of the European countries anymore, and they gain their independence. So, the colonization of Africa happened during the Cold War. We learned about Cold War before. When did Cold War happen? Cold War in Africa, you remember? Did it happen after the World Wars or before the World Wars? After the World Wars, yeah. After the World Wars, the European countries had conflicts, but they didn't actually war. They didn't have war. So between 1940s to 1970s, most African countries gained their independence, but the major one happened in 1960s. So write this one in your notebooks. In 1960s, sub-Saharan nations, the nations, the countries, areas under Sahara, they gained their independence. If it's necessary, you can ask me. So, where is Sahara located? In North South Africa or South? North. Yeah. So the countries under Sahara gained their independence in 1960s. Most of them were French colonies. Okay. So, but how did these African countries gain their independence? Do you think that European countries said, well, it is your country, it is for you to use, or what do you think? Or what we learn? Did they lead by themselves or did Africans fight for that? Both of them, yeah? Both of them happened. So, what happened? First of all, there was, boys, what did you find there? Okay. So, first of all, the European countries found out that, they can, if they invest on African countries more, they won't get as much value that they used to get before, okay? So, they didn't focus on that. But there was another thing. The forces of human rights was actually on them. That oh, you are taking human rights because there were some activists in Africa and out of Africa. There was one important place in Africa that he fought a lot for the freedom of Africa. You know Nelson Mandela? Have you heard of Nelson Mandela? Yeah. So Nelson Mandela was the first African, first dark-skinned president in Africa, South Africa. This one, yes. Yeah, get it right. So, he was in prison, in different prisons, for long. Some prisons were even completely private, like a house, but it was a prison. And finally, he was elected in which year?
First black man.
94, that's right. He was elected as the first dark-skinned South African president. Before that, all of them were
White.
yeah, white skin, white skin. I don't like to use the name black because it is not completely black. It is dark. But white is not white. Like it that you're Yes. Hi. Okay. Did you finish writing this?
No.
Okay. So, who was the first dark-skinned president of South Africa? Nelson Mandela. Yeah. In what year was he elected? 1994. And he did not become the president easily. He fought against, he had a lot of beliefs, and he had a really important and famous speech that I will play part of it after this. But write this one to the year of Africa. The year of Africa is 1960.
You read your life.
You describe the year of Africa, 1960. It is actually a symbol of freedom. It's a symbol of freedom in education, high quality of life, health. It has a lot of symbols.
Yeah. 1960. Oh, wow.
1960, what's it famous for?
Yeah, Africa.
Year of Africa. Okay. There was a video. I will play a video about Nelson Mandela.
ไปเลยนอกจากเลย
ไปว่า
I don't know.
ไปน้ำไม่ตัด
So,
โปรฟิลมาวัด
we have 5 minutes. This way.
Okay.
So, like that. Listen carefully.
ปล่อยผมดีได้บอกเขาเนี่ย
because life is not as easy as here. Here the nature is actually kind and friendly, people are friendly, and even economy here is better because of the sufficiency economy that we have. We learned about it before. Sufficiency economy, you have a lot of advantages and privileges that this helps people and the nature to be safe, and also the quality of the life to be higher. Okay? Let's see how the life goes in Africa and what difference among the life we do. Next question.
Welcome to Busy Friday.
Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another.
Nelson Mandela said these words in 1993 when giving his first speech as a president of the Republic of South Africa. He became a real superhero for the people of Africa and an inspiring example of a fighter for justice and freedom for the whole world. What was it that he did? The Real Whole Law, which translates from the African language Xhosa as trouble. Holy Father Mandela was born in 1918 in a small African village. His father was a heavyweight. Seeing his dad's good example, the boy learned
Let your friends hear the video.
he could be trusted. From his early childhood, Holy Father heard stories about other peoples in Africa who had suffered as the Africans who came from Europe by war.
Lots of instruction. So, Nelson Mandela speech at the beginning. Never, never, and
Again experience the oppression of one by another.
yes. So, what did he say? What did he say in his famous speech? Never, never, will be experience the oppression of one by another. Yes. Okay.
Bye.
So, class, wait a moment. This was the last topic of Africa that we had this year. Next time we will have a test from Africa. It will be in your notebooks. So have a look at the geography, the animals, the habitat, and the Take care and say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.